Hey everybody, it's Charles, your hobby hero, coming with you with our first video of 2023. Now 2022 was a big year for me, picking up an ASM 14, an ASM 1, and a high grade ASM 129. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the target books that I have for my PC this year. But before we get started, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down in the bottom corner. I do appreciate it. I do put out regular content about the hobbies that I love the most. And this topic is one of the topics that I love the most. I've talked about it in other videos that this year could be a great year to pick up some of those grails that you've been looking for your PC. A lot of people who were speculating on the futures of the market kind of overbought and are now trying to liquidate some of their bigger assets. So there are some great opportunities to pick up some real big books out there that have some personal value to you or just long-term value to you. Now there are a number of books that I want to pick up. I'm really going to share 5 categories of books here. There's going to be more books on the list, but there are really 5 big things that I want to work on this year for my PC, which entails close to about 12, 13 different books. Like I said, broken down to about 5 different categories. So without further ado, we'll get started with the number 1 book on our list, and probably the least exciting book on our list is Invincible number 12. Now, why Invincible number 12? Is this some great huge key? No, it is not. It is the last book I need to finish my entire run of Invincible though, and the print run on this particular book was very low, one of the lowest of the entire series, which does come with a pretty high premium on that book. I am trying to find a nice presenting copy without paying out the nose for it, anywhere between $80 and $100 just for a raw, very fine plus copy of this book. So it is not an inexpensive book. Just for a filler issue basically in the series. I've not been able to find one at the right price up until this point. I'm hoping 2023 is the year that I can find it and complete my Invincible 1 through 144, I think, run and be done with that section of my PC. The next one on the list is another book that I want to get for one of my runs, my Amazing Spider-Man run, and that is Amazing Spider-Man number 300. Now, this is a book that everybody knows is the first appearance of Venom. This is a book that I am missing out of my 100 to current run, probably my last real big book in that run of issues of Amazing Spider-Man. This is a book that has always just been a little higher than I've ever been wanting to pay for it. And now those books are coming back at good prices. So I've been keeping my eyes on either a really nice 9.8, or I think if I can't get a 9.8 this year, maybe just finding like a really nice presenting, beat up, possibly signed copy, since there was the new McFarlane signing that came out, and be able to pick up a nice little wall piece at that point in time with his signature on it. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do. It really just depends on what deals are out there for which books, but I'm hoping to get that one knocked off my list now that those prices are dropping down a little bit. Alright, so this next section actually covers 3 books that I already have on my PC, but I'm wanting to upgrade each of those. All 3 of them are Star Wars books. Star Wars books right now are probably the biggest retrace that I've seen out of any of the categories that are out there. I'm not entirely sure why. There's tons of new Star Wars content coming out. A lot of the content that's coming out is very good. Some of these characters are confirmed for future series that are coming to Disney Plus that I'm sure will also be very good. So I'm not entirely sure why they're down as hard as they are, but this is a great opportunity for those of you like me that are out there that may want to either pick these pieces up or upgrade those pieces in there. The first book I want to upgrade is my Star Wars 42, first appearance of Boba Fett. I have it back here on the wall in a 9.4. I would like to get that into a 9.6, possibly even a 9.8, depending on the right deals that are out there. Same with the book beside it, which is Heir to the Empire number 1 in a newsstand. Big difference between that. That book is much more rare than the direct version of that book, especially in a 9.8. That book is way down from previous highs just a couple of years ago, and we do know for sure, it is confirmed that Thrawn is coming to the Ahsoka series. So another big book there. And then right down the line is Kanan. I do want Kanan number 6. I have it currently in a 9.6. This is Kanan number 1, which is the first cameo appearance of the Phoenix Squadron. And number 6 is considered their first full appearance of the Phoenix Squadron. Most of those members, again, confirmed for the Ahsoka series, which again, when that Ahsoka series drops, I think that is going to garner a lot of interest for the old cartoon or animated series. And with that, just a lot of new fans of those characters coming in. Ahsoka's books have been going absolutely crazy, so I'm not sure why these particular books aren't also going crazy. But again, that gives me another opportunity to pick these up at a great deal before they do pop off. All right, next one on the list. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I've been picking these books up for a long time, and this is a year that I really want to fill in a lot of the holes that I still have missing, and that is my collection of Amazing Spider-Man 194s, the first appearance of Black Cat. I am trying to acquire this book in every single grade that it is available in, which is proving to be more difficult than you might think. 9.8s and anything under a 2.0 are very, very hard to find, and when they come in, even in those low grades, the cost of a 2.0 is almost the same cost as a 7.0. So really finding those good deals that are out there to make the most out of the available market that's out there. But I really want to put a big dent in this particular section of it. I've had a number of them over the years that I have traded off and back on. This is the year I kind of want to try to finish that set. A little subset of that is actually collecting the foreign covers as well. I'd like to get one of each of the foreign editions of that book. I have 4 or 5 of the foreign editions already, but there's still a number of them out there that I have not picked up. Again, another thing where those books don't come up very often, so you have to keep your eyes open constantly to pick those up at good prices. But if they're available out there, I do want to try to make this the year where I really put a lot of effort into finishing out that 194 run. All right, and last but certainly not least, this is the largest category of books that I have, and also the largest investment of the entire list. And for me, you know, being a Spider-Man fan and trying to reconcile how I want to get those lower issues and what grades I want those lower issues in, I had come to the mindset that I wanted to get the first full appearance of all the members of the original Sinister Six in a 6.0. Now, this is not something I'm hoping to accomplish all this year because that is a very large investment. Some of the bigger books in that series are upwards of like $6,000, all the way down to the small books in the series being about $2,000 a piece. I would like to pick up either a couple of the smaller books in that target area, or possibly one big book, one small book, depending on what deals are available out there. For those of you who don't know, that includes the Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1, which is the first full appearance of the Sinister Six. Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is the first appearance of Vulture. Amazing Spider-Man 3, which is the first appearance of Doc Ock. Amazing Spider-Man 4, which is the first appearance of Sandman. Amazing Spider-Man 13, which is 9, which is Electro. Amazing Spider-Man 13, which is first appearance of Mysterio, and Amazing Spider-Man 15, which is first appearance of Kraven. So I want to find those all in 6.0, which is very difficult because you have to buy them graded at that point. Those middle grades are very hard to kind of eyeball when you're trying to buy raw books and then grade them yourself. And I don't want to waste the extra time of buying, 5.0 or 7.0 raw copies, sending them in to get graded, only to have them come back in, 5.5 or 6.5. And me basically have to sell them and go out and try to find them all over again. So these are books I'm going to have to find already graded, which is already going to reduce the number of them out there that I can find, and then try to find them at the right price. But that is one of the big targets and one of the big focuses for my Spider-Man personal collection that I want to have done. The OCD part of me, just decided that they have to be 6.0, and now they're going to have to be 6.0 for me to get those. So we'll see what happens with those. I hope you guys stay tuned. If you haven't already, make sure you follow me on Instagram so you can keep up to date with any of these grails that I pick up for my personal collection. If you've got any books that you're trying to get this year, let me know in the comment section below. Until next time though, guys, Hobby Hero, out.